all of the natural pain relievers out there, essential oils, yoga, you name it. I can't believe this one made the biggest difference for me. And I was so against it for so many years, vocally against it. It's almost embarrassing to say how big a difference this has made in my life. So I've lived with chronic pain for most of my adult life. I had a very severe accident when I was 18, fell on my head. And then a few years later, just graduating university, I had a kneeboarding accident. I'm a pretty active person, love to do the things, but boat was going a little fast. I was on an outside turn, caught a tip, bounced across the water 5 times on my head. Now, let me tell you, at that speed, water feels like concrete. It acts like concrete on our body. So I started my career, I was an engineer at the time, working primarily a desk job in the state. And over time, sitting at a desk, it got worse and worse and worse. So I became a searcher, a seeker of natural pain relief solutions, because I didn't want to be taking all the medications. I knew that wasn't going to work for my gut health. That's a whole other story. But I also knew in my gut that wasn't going to work for me, that wasn't the right thing. So I became a seeker. If you're a seeker too, comment below. Several years ago, I was in constant pain and was waking up in the morning in pain. It was not alleviating through the day. It was still with me. I was pretty convinced that I had a chronic condition. I thought I had arthritis. So I went to the doctor and asked for all the blood tests to be done. And I used to see the markers because I knew there was something going on. But at the same time, I was a busy dance mom, or the quintessential dance mom, and I was packing up my kids as school was ending. I was packing up my kids to take them to a dance intensive in Victoria. So got everything ready. We packed up the house. I think we're doing renovations. So we were leaving the house, packing it all up, putting the kids in the car and the dog, heading across the country to Victoria. So we get there, and of course, busy seasons of our lives, our dog, 7-month-old puppy, had a major health concern. We almost lost him. So he was on some pretty heavy-duty medication. So every morning, I had to give him a pill at the same time every day, couldn't miss a day, all those things for him. So I used this to my advantage, actually, as it turned out. Being a busy mom and not getting those tests probably saved my life on this one. So while the kids were getting as much sleep as they could, because then they were out dancing their hearts out for 8 or 9 hours, they would sleep in. I would get up with the dog early. He was Bubby. I had a couple hours on my own. So I would feed him, give him his medication, and I used that to take my own supplements. I had tried them a couple times. I knew they worked for my energy. I felt better when I was on them, but I was never consistent with them. So I used this opportunity to take them and get more consistent on them. And lo and behold, and I got to say, this is the thing. I was not a supplement taker. I was not a believer in supplements. It was almost against the grain as a yoga teacher, right? I teach yoga. I eat healthy. I don't do supplements, right? I don't need them. Well, turns out we do. Because our body, so our yoga, our mindfulness, our essential oils, these are all like super important keys, right? They're super important parts of the system. If you think of it like a car, it's like the steering wheel, the ignition, the key that goes in there, the air filters is like our pranayama or our breathing, all of these great things. But without fuel, your body goes nowhere. And it turns out the fuel for our body is nutrients, micronutrients, macronutrients, whatever you want to call them. And we don't get them. We don't get enough of them in our diet these days. And we can't just cherry pick and say, I'm not getting enough iron, or I'm not getting enough magnesium, or whatever that might be. I've tried that before, and you take it for a while and nothing really helps, because our body doesn't just need one thing. It needs a continuation of things, right? So when we have our bodies work, we have these different reactions, and each reaction fuels the next. So think of it like a string of Christmas lights. And back when I grew up, the Christmas lights, if one of them burnt out, the whole string went dead. That's kind of like our bodies, right? So if our body is missing something, everything else starts to dim. Right? And our bodies are smart. It'll start to steal from over here and do this so that it kind of keeps the lights, it patches the lights together. But over time, it just starts to stall out. And if things start to dim, our brain doesn't work as well, right? Our bodies don't feel as good. We just don't have that energy and vitality anymore. So there's a researcher, a book that I found in Calgary called The Better Brain. It is by Bonnie Kaplan. And she talks about, I'm going to paraphrase this, not going to get it exactly, but that every moment of every day, our body needs the right the right fuel, these micronutrients for all of these interactions. Otherwise, our brain doesn't work. So she was primarily looking at the brain or research on how to make our brains function better. But it works on everything else. I discovered this summer that it also works on how our bodies feel and how, whether we're pain-free or feeling vital and alive within that. We need this. And once we get all the proper nutrients that our body has, these building blocks to heal itself and to build muscle and to do all those things, we feel vibrant. It's like the lights go on, right? When all of the pieces come together. So there was that. I had to get over that hookup within that. The other little thing that was challenging for me was that consistency is not my thing. Let me know in the comments if that's you too. Consistency is actually in the bottom 5 of my 34 strengths. Plus, I'm what we call a Vata in a yoga personality, right? Which means I love change. I do not love routine. It's almost like a 4-letter word for me. So being consistent at something is difficult. But over time, when I had to give the dog a medication, and so I was taking mine at the same time, I was all laid out there like trigger, habit, reward. I'm getting in there. It turns out that when things are working, when you're getting their results, when you're getting the reward of it, consistency is easy. It becomes a non-negotiable because you're feeling better. You're going to do the thing. So when you truly feel better, when the thing is making a difference, consistency isn't the issue. So at the end of this summer, we had 3 weeks up there, a couple weeks of holidays, and we got back to Calgary. I finally got the blood work done, went back to see the doctor, and he's kind of looking at me going, there's nothing here on these markers. And I'm looking at him going, markers? I had completely forgotten that I had asked for those tests to be done. I had completely forgotten that I was in pain at the beginning of that summer. When I look back, the only thing that had changed was to start taking those supplements consistently. That's it. It can be that easy. So today I'm simply asking you to be open to the possibility that something as simple as a multivitamin, an omega-3, and an antioxidant can make a world of difference for you too. Can amplify all of those great things that you already do and create that whole picture of wellness that you've been searching for. Now, caveat on this is you have to do your research. Not all vitamins and supplements are natural. Not all of them work the same way in your body. Some of them are made of synthetics and they actually do more harm than they do good, right? So we'll look at, over the next few weeks, we'll look at, what to look for in that. The other caveat on that is that once your body gets this great fuel, your liver is going to perk up and it starts to do its own, it starts to like, woohoo, now I have what I need. I'm going to start detoxing. And that doesn't always feel so great. So we're going to talk about what to look for, how to avoid those detox reactions and really soothe that liver and take care of it so that it is not going to, it's going to feel amazing and not, set you back a few steps on that. So I have a link in the description and below that you can, get these next videos in this series. I can walk you through, hand-hold you through making this work in your body. We're not all the same. We are all unique. We're going to need a few tweaks along the way. So we'll just walk you through that so that at the end of the day, the light bulbs go on for you and you feel amazing. So subscribe or join that little link below and we'll go through this together. And I look forward to this journey with you. Namaste.